Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Mike Doyle of Pennsylvania. He is also the manager of the Democratic Congressional baseball team. It's great to have you with us, and my thoughts are with you and your teammates, the Republicans, as well. Let me ask you about something I saw here on the website for the Congressional baseball game for charity. A note, in light of yesterday's tragic events, today's game will be held as scheduled. Was that ever in doubt after what happened yesterday?
I don't think so. Right after the shooting, I called the Republican manager, Joe Barton. They had just been through a traumatic experience. I've never had anyone shooting bullets at me, and so I said to Joe that whatever he decided, that we would defer to that out of respect for what they had been through. Joe felt that the game should go forward, and I said that's great because I feel exactly the same way, that we shouldn't let incidents like this or people like this change our daily routine or how we live our lives. So there was never really much doubt between Joe and I as to whether or not the game would go forward, but we just had to make sure that the leadership on both sides and the Washington Nationals were okay with it, and I think it was unanimous.
I note that tickets are still available for tonight's game. Is there going to be anything different about it in light of what happened yesterday, whether on the field or in terms of the entertainment that surrounds it?
Well, I'll say one thing. Normally, we sell somewhere around 8,000 to 9,000 tickets to this game. We are already over 18,000 tickets that have been sold. This money goes to charity, and we've added a fourth charity, the Fallen Officers Fund. So we're excited about that. We've already raised over $600,000 for the charities, and it looks like we're going to have a record crowd at the game tonight. I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotion at this game, and we look forward to having a good competitive game, and when it's over, win or lose, sharing a hot dog and a beer with our Republican players, and like we always do, and congratulating the winner and consoling the loser.
We got an update on the House Majority Whip this morning from the President of the United States, and he said, I have a feeling that Steve has made a great sacrifice, but there could be some unity being brought to our country. Let's hope so. Help us understand what happens after the game ends tonight. There is, for a moment, some comedy, friends, colleagues playing a baseball game together. In light of what happened yesterday, how does that change the way you and your colleagues approach each other and the business of governing on Capitol Hill? How do you keep that comedy once you get back to the business of governing?
Well, I think, we've been saying that all of us need to reflect on how we talk with one another. It's not going to change our position on the budget or on health care or issues like that. There's differences of opinion and disagreement on that, and the Founding Fathers wanted us to have a vigorous debate. I think what we're talking about is the ability to have those debates in a civil manner, to address one another civilly, and set an example for others, too, that you can disagree with one another. You don't have to hate one another. You don't have to preach violence towards one another. And that's really what we're talking about. So I hope that that's the change that we're going to see on behalf of members of Congress and the public, and on behalf of the media, too, and the types of events they cover. So I think we all share a responsibility there.
Congressman Doyle, we have about 30 seconds left with you. I want to just see if you've gotten an update on the condition of your colleague, of the Majority Whip, what you've heard about how he's doing at MedStar Washington Medical Center in D.C.
I really don't have I know Steve is in all our thoughts and prayers. I understand he's going to have some additional surgery. I'm not trained medically, so I'm not certain what that's all about. But I know that all of us are praying for him, that he has a speedy recovery and that he's able to come back and join us as soon as possible.